Okay, Superclass, Junior Superclass and Masters, your official practice is now open. Good morning, officials. Can we get all officials to the registration box for an officials briefing? It's all officials to the registration box, please. We'll have a riders briefing in about 10 minutes from now, please. We'll do the riders briefing just behind the scoring box so that most of the riders can stay in the marquees and such and stay out of the wind. So we'll do that in about 10 minutes from now. That's riders briefing in 10 minutes. Okay, riders, if we can do a riders briefing, we'd like to do the riders briefing just behind the scorers box at the presentation area. So it's a riders briefing, please. Okay, riders, welcome to Launceston BMX Club for the first of many Tassie Thunder events. So today we're going to change the format slightly. We're going to run 5 straight motos, given the weather and the conditions and the wind that's expected to pick up this afternoon and the possible rain that's on the forecast. So we're going to run 5 straight motos. We'll have a short break, literally 5 minutes between motos 3 and 4 to give the riders a chance to catch their breath, have a drink and go to the toilet, but otherwise we're going straight through. We will run all 5 motos. That's my intention at the moment, to run all 5 motos, unless it's literally unsafe to stop. If we do have to finish, obviously it'll come down to those motos that you have raced. The last moto, if there's a tie for points, the last moto will determine the winner of that category. So assuming we run all 5 motos and you and your competitor happen to finish, say, on 12 points, whoever was the faster rider in the 5th moto, that rider will be declared the winner for today's event in that category. If you've got any questions, come and see us, but hopefully that makes sense. If there's a tie, the tie will be broken by the last moto that you ride, okay? We're expecting some really fast, competitive, hard racing today. We all know it's at stake. We all know be infringing riders. Any rider that infringes will be penalised as infringement, so we will be keeping a keen eye on that. Having said that, we want people to ride to the best of their ability. We want them to hold their line. We want them to ride fast and hard and have a great day. Today your riders advocates are Dave Stewart, hand up for me Dave, and Britt Griffiths over here as well. So if you've got any issues, please see the riders advocates and they can talk and help you out, explain things and clarify things as necessary. If you fall over, if you crash, obviously you need to be checked out by first aid before you re-enter the next race. If you do come down and you want to continue your race, please let the first aid know, or the official that comes down, not to touch you, that you want to finish your race. If they do touch you, you're marked as a did not finish that race, okay? I think that's all I've got. Let's have a great day's racing. Race hard, race fast. Good luck to all riders.
morning, race fans. Welcome to the Tassie Thunder. We're going to rope the wind. We're going to ride the thunder here today, the inaugural Tassie Thunder. We've got riders all over the mainland here today, all the way to little known Tasmania, here at the Launceston BMX Club. We're about to get underway racing. Our first race is away. Our mini wheelers, and away we go. Out in front, we've got the 33, that'll be Jalen right there. The 151, that'll be Jacob right on his outside. Handlebar to handlebar we go, down through the rhythm section. Further back, we got Cooper in there, Jacob and Leo, I think it is, as they make their way down through the rhythm section. Don't forget, they race for the cheers of the crowd. So when we get up to turn number 3 and make our way down the final straight, I want to hear the sound of 2 hands clapping. Out of turn number 3 we go. Looks like it is the number 33. That'll be Jalen out in front as he makes his way up over the tabletop. Let's get the 2 hands clapping and cheer on these riders here today as he makes his way towards the finish line. That's 33, Jalen out in front. Back to the 151, that'll be Jacob in second. Further back we go, looks like it's the 30 in there, that'll be young Leo. But over the line we go, it's going to be Jalen in first position for our mini wheelers. Jalen Wall got the speed wobbles up here for young Jacob. The 30 over the line we go, young Leo. Here comes a 303, Peyton, the biggest smile out there today. Then back to the number 12, the little mischief rider himself, young Cooper. Come on, Cooper, all the way, mate. There we go, race number 1 down. Up on the gate now, brought to you by Elite Painting, the cruiser 35 to 39 men. Gate down, way we go. This is the cruiser class. The big 24-inch wheels, away we go. Looks like it's Oxley out in front, back to Lorenz, and then Tonks we go. This is proudly brought to you by Elite Painting. Out of turn number 1 we go. First gate off today for the Tassie Thunder. It's Oxley out in front. Oxley into turn number 1 we go. Back to Leo holding down second place, and Tonks in third. Down through the rhythm section, the third straight here at the Launceston BMX Club we go. Oxley into turn number 3, back to Lorenz and then Tonks. Out of the final corner we go, head towards the finish line. It is going to be Oxley, Lorenzen and Tonks. We'll drop it down a gear. We're going to drop down to the 6 sprockets now. Green light, gate down, way we go, 6 sprockets. Great one out of the middle there. We'll get the numbers shortly. I'm trying to figure out who it is on the race sheet here. Can't quite pick the number at this stage. It could be one of 5 riders. We'll sort it out in a minute. Out of turn number 2 we go. It's fairly tight out the front. As they make their way up the second straight, we'll go get the little numbers on the little plates here. It's the 19 out the front, so it's Chapman out in front. He's got the race face on. It's Chapman. Then it's back to Lang on the 161 we go. Further back we go to the 107, that'd be Anderson. But it's Chapman out in front. It's Chapman, got the lead into turn number 3 already. It's Chapman, Lang, and then Anderson, the top 3, as they make their way around the final corner, head towards the finish line. It's Chapman, I can't hear the crowd clapping these riders here today for the inaugural Tassie Thunder. It's going to be Chapman over the line. So Chapman, Lang, it's fairly tight up in here now for the 3rd and 4th position between Anderson and Tuck. As they make their way around the final corner, we go head towards the finish line. It's Anderson at this stage. It's the 107, so it's still Anderson. So Anderson's going to hold on to 3rd for the 6 sprockets. Seven sprockets out of the gate we go. Fairly tight for the 4 riders. They charge their way down the first row. We've got Frankham, Riley, Mason and Leonard. As we go into turn number 1 we go, we'll sort out who's who in the zoo here. As they make their way up the second straight, I think it's Mason out in front. He's got a good lead down that first straight, so it's the 67 of Mason out in front. Then it's back to Riley on the inside. Here comes Leonard. Then back to Frankham we go. As they make their way down the 3rd straight, it's still Mason out in front. Clean set of hills at this stage. So it's Mason, Leonard, Riley, then back to Frankham we go. Around turn 3, head towards the finish line. He's still out in front though. It's Mason. He's got a clean set of hills on this one. So it's going to be Mason, Leonard, Riley and Frankham for the 7 sprockets. Out of the gate drops for the 15 boys for the Mannion Contracting as they make their way out of turn number 1 we go. I think it's just the 15s we'll call it. So it is out in front. It's Broomhall out in front. So it's Broomhall, Mannion, Kirkland as they make their way around turn number 2 we go down through the rhythm section, the rodeo straight here at the Launceston BMX Club. So it's Broomhall out in front. So it's Broomhall, Mannion, Kirkland. The top 3 as they charge their way towards the finish line here for the Mannion Contracting 15 girls. RMW Repairs brings us the 14 boys out of the gate. We go, oh, it's tight at the front there between Blythe and Williams, and Dawson's also in there. Into turn number 1 we go. Make their way out of turn number 1 up the second straight. So it's Williams out in front. So it's Williams, Blythe, Dawson as they make their way into turn number 2. That's the running order this day. So it's still Williams, Blythe, Dawson's right there with him as Williams charges. Oh, he's got it out of control there. Hang on for the wild ride here. He was riding the thunder. As they make their way around turn number 3 we go. So it's Blythe out in front. So it's Blythe back to Williams after that wild moment, and then Dawson. AAP Interior Lining brings us the 8 boys. Out of the gate we go. We've got Tonks, Manshandon, Lang as they charge into turn number 1 we go. Out of turn number 1 up the second straight. I think it's Lang out in front. So it'll be Lang, Tonks, Manshandon. I think it's a running order here for the AAP Interior Linings, 8 boys. Turn number 2, they got the pedals to the metals. They come around turn number 2, down the third straight already. So it is Lang out in front. Lang, Tonks, Manshandon. As they make their way down to turn number 3 we go. Lang's got that inside race line. Oh, Tonks cuts the inside. It could be a drag race. Oh, they're going to be a freight train now. So it is Lang, Tonks, Manshandon should be the finishing order for the AAP Interior Linings, 8 boys. 9 girls proudly brought to you by Sprung. Out of the gate we go. We've got Ellis, Stubbs, Burgess and O'Connor as they make their way down to turn number 1. I'd say it's Burgess out in front there on the 911 at this stage. Round turn number 1 we go. So it is Burgess out in front. We'll get the rest very shortly as they make their way up the second straight we go. It is still Burgess. She's got a clean set of hills at this stage. So it's Burgess. Back to the 8-1-6 we go. That'll be Ellison holding on second position. Back to the 9-1. I reckon it's Stubbs. Got some number changes here. But anyway, we'll call it as we see it. So it's Burgess out in front. So it's Burgess to make our way towards the finish line. So it's Burgess, Ellis, Stubbs and O'Connor. Gate drops to the 9 boys, brought to you by JJ's Bakehouse. Oh, look, this is a kaleidoscope of colour here, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way down to turn number 1. All but a full gate here as they come out of turn number 1. Up the second straight we'll go. We'll sort out who's who in the zoo very shortly as they make their way up to turn number 2. Looks like it's Mason out in front. So it's Mason, Farrell, then back to the 19 of Sweet. As they make their way down that third straight we go. So it's still Mason out in front. Smooth as butter out there at the moment. Farrell's holding down second. Oh, there's a challenge coming up there further from Fogg, trying to fight his way through. Round the final corner we go, head towards the finish line. It's Mason at this stage. Farrell's holding on. The 5-1-5 is coming through. It's Fogg, but it's going to be Mason, Farrell, Fogg are the top 3 for the JJ's Bakehouse 9 boys. The Scott Smith Orthodontics 10 boys out of the gate we go. We've got Lehman, Smith, Townsend, Hill as they charge their way down to turn number 1. It'll be Hill into turn number 1 in first position as they come around turn 1 here at the Launceston BMX Club for the Tassie Thunder as they charge their way up the second straight we go. This is brought to you by the Scott Smith Orthodontics as they drop into turn number 2. So it's Hill out in front. So it's Hill, then back to the 804, Lehman, then the Smith Towns we go. As they make their way down the third straight we go, still Hill out in front. Hill, Lehman, Smith, Towns are the top 3 here for the 10 boys, brought to you by the Scott Smith Orthodontics as they make their way towards the finish line. Hill's going to hold on to this one. So it's going to be Hill, Lehman and Smith Towns. $25 to $29 men out of the gate to go, brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne as they make their way down to turn number 1. I'm trying to figure out who we got. So we got Stewart out in front. So it'll be Stewart, Tuck, Lorenzen as they make their way up the second straight we go. It's the 188 out in front of Stewart. He's got a clean set of heels. Tuck's right there with him. Lorenzen's doing about 7 different duties today. He's actually bringing us the live stream as well. But down out of turn number 3 we go. Stewart, he's turned the afterburners off. He's saving his legs for the rest of the racing today. Tuck's in holding down to second position. And Lorenzen. 12 Girls brought to you by Turbo BMX. Out of the gate we go. Great drive out of the middle there by the 24. That'd be Rockcliffe. Up on the inside, Williams is going with her. Could be side by side into turn number 1. Hold your breath, but Williams comes out in first position. As they make their way up the second straight we go. So it's Williams out in front. So it's Williams, Rockcliffe, back to Carroll and Tonks we go. Turn 2 already. It's Williams got a nice little lead. Back to Rockcliffe, Carroll, Tonks. This is 12 Girls brought to you by Turbo BMX. As they make their way down that third straight, down through the rhythm section, we go round the final corner. It's Williams at this stage. Oh, Carroll took the inside line. Rockcliffe got high. It's a change of position, but it's Williams holding in first. The race is on for second. It's Carroll at this stage. Rockcliffe's coming back at it. Carroll, Rockcliffe. Oh, it's Carroll on the line. AAP Interior Linings also brings us the 12 boys today. Out the gate we go. We've lost a rider already. We're only down to 2. Who we got? We got Man Shandon out in front. Then back to Hall we go. As they make their way up into turn number 2 we go. So it's Man Shandon out in front on the 39 there. Back to Hall on the 75. As they race through the wind here today. They're trying to rope the wind, but they're riding the thunder. As they go down to turn number 3 we go. It's still Man Shandon out in front. Back to Hall in second we go. Brought to you by AAP Interior Linings. As they make the way to the finish line. So it is going to be Man Shandon and Hall. Mannion Contracting proudly brings us the 13 girls. Out of the gate we go. Looks like it's Paget and Farrell, the 2 protagonists, side by side, handlebar to handlebar into turn number 1 we go. It's Paget at this stage with half a bike lead. Farrell's right there with it, trying to come around the outside. Back to Mannion. And Tuck we go into turn number 2. Oh, Paget's got the race face on. Farrell's right there with it. Back to Mannion. Tuck and back to the 14 we go of Linnet. Down through the rhythm section, that third straight we go. Farrell's trying to find the long way around. Can't quite do it. Paget's still in the lead, so it's Paget and Farrell going side by side towards the finish line. It's going to be Paget. Oh, Farrell's coming at her on the line. I'm going to call that was Farrell, but I'm looking for... Yes, it was Farrell going by the scoring box. Paget and Mannion. JJ's Breakhouse proudly brings us the 13 boys now. Butterworth, Lupton, Savage and Medcraft as they dive down to turn number 1 we go. It's a throw a blanket over them at this stage. They charge their way up the second straight we go. So it's Butterworth. Oh, the 2-1-2. Of Lupton, look at him go, he's trying to go the long way round. Oh, he's pushed it wide there. Medcraft and then Savage, they've charged their way down the third straight. Oh, Lupton, he found a gap that wasn't there. He charged in the lead. Butterworth cuts back to the inside. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. If this doesn't turn you on, you haven't got a switch. It's Lupton at this stage. On the line, it's going to be Lupton, Butterworth, Savage and Medcraft. Medcraft family proudly brings us the Masters, the 30-plus riders. Into turn number 1 we go. I reckon it's Ellis at this stage. Ellis, French, Oxley, Anderson, Burgess as they make their way down to turn number 2 already. Oh, look at that for some pace for some old fellas there. It's still Ellis out in front. Ellis, French, the top 2. I think Anderson's up to 3rd we go. Into turn number 3, we're out of the final corner. Out in front though, it's Ellis at this stage. French is coming back at him. Can Ellis hold on? It's going to be Ellis, French, Anderson, Oxley, Burgess. Junior Superclass men proudly brought to you by Sprung. 7 riders, they charge their way down to turn number 1. We'll figure out who's who in the zoo shortly. I could be French out at front. Townsend's right in there with him. And then back to Rush, I think we go. As we make our way up into turn number 2, it is French, Townsend, Rush, Beams in there, Williams. As they make their way around turn number 2, down through the rhythm section, that third straight. Get it wrong, it gets all nasty. Get it right, and you look like a hero. Out of the final corner we go. It's French at this stage, so it's French. Townsend Rush as they come towards the finish line, so it is going to be French, Townsend, Rush. Beams to the top 4 for the junior superclass men. Gate down way we go. Superclass, junior superclass women, brought to you by RMW Repairs. As they make their way down to turn number 1 out in front, a big gun out in front, I'd say. So big gun, Broomhall. Mannion holding down 3rd position, I think it is. Then back to Beams. And then Farrell we go. But out in front, this is where the race is happening. This is the superclass and junior superclass riders for the women combined here. But it's Gun out in front of this stage, so it's Gun. Broomhall, Mannion as they charge towards the finish line. So it is going to be Gun will hold on to this one. So Gun, Broomhall, Mannion. Okay, up next we've got the first of the superclass men, brought to you by Sprung. So quiet, please. Gate down where we go for the first of the superclass men, brought to you by Sprung. On the outside, that's the pink bike. I can't remember which one that was. I think it's Moran on the outside there. It could be Moran on the pink as we charge our way up the second straight we go. We'll get some numbers very shortly. It's the 17, so it is Moran out in front. It's the 7, back to the 56 we go. So it's Smith in there, then the 52, I think, or 22, McLeod. As they make their way down the third straight as the rain comes down. It doesn't matter, these riders. It's Moran, look at him. He's got the afterburners on. He's heating up the track here today. It's going to be Moran will hold on to this one. Moran, Smith. Oh, the 22 of McLeod. Second of the superclass men, brought to you by Sprung. Out of the gate we go. Great one. Looks like it's Jolly on the outside in the all white there, but we've got the all black on the inside. We'll sort out who's who in the zoo. Oh, they've gone high as they charge their way up the second straight we go. We'll get some numbers very shortly. It's the 69 out in front. So it's Fletcher out in front, so it's Fletcher, then back to Jolly and missed the 3rd place. As they make their way down through the rhythm section we go. So it is still Fletcher out in front, so it's Fletcher, Jolly, the top 2 as they charge towards the finish line. So it's still Fletcher. Oh, Jolly's coming back at him on the line. Oh! All I can tell you, Hughes got 3rd. Okay. Now apparently we're drawing the Lucky Door prize. The first of the Lucky Door prizes brought to you proudly by Lowe's BP. Okay, we're going to do it half time now. Someone wasn't ready. So just a quick public announcement. Because of all the wind, could you just ask people to put all their rubbish in the rubbish bins correctly, please? Just saves a lot of clean up this afternoon. Also, if you see our official photographer here, young Chase Williams, just wish him happy birthday today. What are you, 21? 15, okay, looks 21, but he's 15. Okay, we're up to moto number 2 here for the Tassie Thunder. Thank you for everyone standing out in such wonderful conditions here today. Okay, here we go. The mini wheelers away, Jalen's got the inside. Oh, there's a rub on the handlebars. It's Rubbins racing here in the mini wheelers. Oh, Peyton's got to take the shortcut across the grass. Okay, so it's Jalen out in front. There's Jacob holding on to 2nd position, I think it is. I think Leo's in the 3rd. Peyton's looking sideways at Cooper. Cooper doesn't know where he's going. Mini wheelers proudly brought to you by SJ City Cash. I forgot to mention them in the first moto, so sorry about that, SJ City Cash. Thank you for sponsoring the mini wheelers here today as they make their way out of turn number 3. Don't forget the sound of 2 hands clapping. I know it's cold, but let's get our hands out of our pockets. I know some people are holding on to umbrellas, but let's cheer on these riders. Here comes young Jalen on the 33. 2 hands clapping. 2 hands clapping. Well done. So it's going to be Jalen in first position. Jacob on the 151, I think it is. Yep, Jacob's got the 151. The number 30, he's got his face painted. Leo in third position. Where's Peyton? Here she comes. Peyton on the 303. The brightest pink pike here today. As I make the way towards the finish line, it's Peyton. Here comes the mischief maker, number 12, young Cooper. He races for the cheers of the crowd. But here we go, over the line we're going to go. It's Peyton over the line. And then young Cooper. Elite Painting brings us the 35 to 39 Cruiser Man. Out of the gate we go. It's Oxley at this stage. Lorenzen in second position, then back to Tonks we go. As they make their way down to turn number 1. It's still Oxley at this stage. So it is Oxley, Lorenzen, Tonks, Cruisers, brought to you by Elite Painting. Round turn number 2 we go already down through the rhythm section. These are the Cruisers, so these are the 24-inch bigger wheels. Oh, Tonks is just saying how much she's enjoying the racing here today. Loving the weather, apparently, as they make their way out of the final corner. Oxley's got the lead at this stage, so it's going to be Oxley will hold on to this one. Back to Lorenzen, and then Tonks. Gate drops, away we go. We've got the 6 sprockets now, proudly brought to you by the Scott Smith Orthodontics. As they make their way down into turn number 1 we go. I actually might find an umbrella here for a second, try and save me paperwork. Okay, turn number 1 we go. So it is the 6 sprockets. We'll sort out who's who in the zoo. I reckon it's the number 19. Do you reckon it's number 19? Yep, Chapman's out in front. So it's Chapman, then it'll be back to Lang in second position. Oh, no, I reckon it's Anderson in third. Yep, that's what it is. But it's still Chapman out in front. He's hammering down through that rhythm section there. The range and incentive to get round the lap a bit quicker. Further back we go, we've got Tuck comes through. Then the 32, Richardson, Coker. But out in front it's Chapman at this stage. So it's going to be Chapman, Lang and Anderson are our top 3 here for the 6 sprockets. Brought to you by Scott Smith Orthodontics. Thank you. Okay, 7 sprockets out of the gates now. Brought to you by Tony and Anita Savvy. So a big thank you to Tony and Anita for sponsoring the 7 sprockets today. As they make their way down to turn number 1 we go. The rain backs off, but the racing just keeps hammering along. As they make their way up the second straight we go. So out in front though, it is the 67 of Mason. He's got the race face on there. Leonard's got the big locks flowing out the back. He's trying to give chase. Back to Riley we go. And then Frankham's trying to make a move. It's going to be tight for 3rd and 4th here. But out in front, though, it's Mason at this stage. It's Mason out in front. Going well out there. It's going to be Mason will hold on to this one. So it's going to be Mason, Leonard. But the race is on for 3rd and 4th. It's Riley at this stage. Frankham's trying to give chase. I think Riley's just going to get him. So it's Riley. Back to Frankham we go. 15 girls out of the gate, brought to you by Mannion Contracting. Into turn number 1 we go, so it's Broomhall, Mannion, Kirkland. Oh, Mannion made an inside move as they make their way up the second straight. We're going to go 2 by 2, side by side, handlebar to handlebar. Into turn 2 we go. This is some great racing here. Broomhall and Mannion, they're going to go drag race down the 3rd straight. Kirkland's like, what is going on here? As we dive into turn number 3, Broomhall's got the slight advantage. Mannion cuts back down to the inside. Let's line up for the line. This is going to be a drag race here. It's Broomhall on the outside, Mannion on the inside. It's going to be Broomhall. Hold on this one. Broomhall, Mannion, Kirkland, brought to you by Mannion Contracting. 14 boys out of the gate, brought to you by RMW Repairs. So it'll be Blythe out in front. So it's Blythe, Williams, Dawson. Into turn number 1 we go. Out of turn number 1, up the second straight. Through the little doubles, the rollers, the step up, the step down we go. So it is Blythe out in front. 496, back to the 1T and the 880. As we make our way down the 3rd straight, so it's Blythe out in front at this stage. So it's Blythe, Williams, Dawson. As they dive into turn number 3, it's still Blythe holding on to this one. So it is Blythe, Williams, Dawson here for the 14 boys. AAP Interior Linings brings us the 8 boys out of the gate we go. It'll be Lang, Tonks, Manshandon. Into turn number 1. Oh, Tonks tried to find that inside line. Didn't quite happen for him. There's still Lang out in front. Tonks has given chase and then back to Manshandon. This is the AAP Interior Linings 8 boys. You can hear the tyres fighting for traction into turn 2. Oh, here we go. It's on down to the third straight we go. Lang, Tonks, who's going to get the better line down there as we dive into turn number 3 we go. Oh, Lang's got him at this stage. Tonks will fight back. He will not give up this young rider as they make their way down the fourth and final straight we go. So it is going to be Lang, Tonks and Manshandon for the AAP Interior Linings 8 boys. 9 girls brought to you by Sprung. Out of the gate we go. Out in front it's the 1T. There'll be Burgess at this stage. So Burgess, and I'll call the other numbers when I get to see them. Out of turn number 1 we go. So it's Burgess out in front as they make their way up the second straight. As the rain backs off, the riders just push harder. Into turn number 2 we go. So it is Burgess out in front. Back to the 816. That'll be Ellis holding down second position. 911 comes through of Stubbs. This is confusing me, and then back to O'Connor. As they make their way down the third straight, they're sort of spread out now. This is the 9 girls brought to you by Sprung. Round the final corner we go, head towards the finish line. His Burgess will hold on to this one, just keeps the rubber side down. So it's going to be Burgess. Ellis. And the race is on for the minor position. I think so. O'Connor may have moved up to third. As we come towards the finish line, it is going to be O'Connor got up to third. Then back to Stubbs. 9 boys at JJ's Bakehouse. 9 boys. Out the gate we go. Look at them go down there. It is a kaleidoscope of colour as they dive into turn number 1 we go. So it's Mason out in front of this stage. So it's Mason. Then back to Fogg. They're the top 2 we can get at this stage. The 21's on the inside. There'll be Fields in there. Fields made the move up the inside into third position. As they make their way down the third straight we go. So it is Mason, Fogg, Field. They're the top 3 at this stage. They make their way down into turn number 3 we go. Round the final corner. Mason looks like he's going to hold on to this one. Oh, he's just going to withstand everything inside. Oh, he had a bit of a slip there, but he's going to be Mason. But the race is on towards the line. Ooh, yep, it was either Field or Sweet. Let the transponders sort that one out. So the Scott Smith Orthodontics proudly bring you the 10 boys now. With Hill, Smith, Townsend, Lehman. As they make their way down the second straight we go. It's Hill out in front. So it's Hill's got the leads. They dive into turn number 2 we go. That's Hill back to the 804 of Lehman. Then the 999 of Smith Towns. I think he's only got 99, but that's all right. As they make their way down to turn number 3 we go. We've got Hill on the 181. We've got Lehman on 804. But we've got Smith Towns on a 99 plate, but the sheet says 999. That's all right, though. We know who he is. The race is on. It's going to be Hill. Lehman, that was tight at the end. Then back to Smith Towns. 25 to 29s. Here we go. Brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. Out of turn number 1 we go. Be Stewart out in front. I'd say, yeah, Stewart. He's got this one wrapped up if he can keep the rubber side down. So it is Stewart here. The race is on for the minor position. Oh, Lorenzen. He must be the rain god here today. He's picked up the pace now. It's raining. Back to Tuck we go. As I make our way into turn number 3 we go. Oh, Tuck's now back up to second place. But out in front though, it's Stewart at this stage. So it's going to be Stewart. Oh, Lorenzen's up to second. The race is on. Here we go. Who's got the web feet in here? As we come towards the finish line, I think Tuck's going to hold on to this one. Tuck, then Lorenzen. 12 girls, here we go. Brought to you by Turbo BMX. You can see their flags everywhere. If you need any repairs today, head on down to Turbo BMX. They'll help you out. Here we make our way up the second straight we go. It's Williams out in front. Oh, she got a clean set of hills in this one. So it's Williams. Back to Carroll. Oh, riding that white line on the inside. Back to Rockcliffe we go. And the 555 of Tonks showing Mum how to do it. As we make our way down the third straight we go. It's still Williams out in front. Williams from Turbo BMX. In the race, sponsored by Turbo BMX. That's great value for money there. Thank you, Turbo BMX. That's going to be Williams over the line. So Williams, oh, Rockcliffe made a move down the final straight. Back to Carroll we go, and then Tonks. AAP Interior Linings brings us the 12 boys. Who we got? This looks like we've got Man Shandon and Hall, just the two riders in this one. As they make their way up the second straight, we go. So it's Man Shandon on the 39 out in front. Back to Hall on the 75. Tiptoe round turn number 2. Keep the rubber side down. Line themselves up down through the rodeo straight, the rhythm section here at the Launceston BMX Club. As the wind picks up, and remember, we're roping the wind and we're riding the thunder here today at the Tassie Thunder. Let's get excited. Very hard to get excited with rain and wind, but that's all right. So it's going to be Man Shandon and back to Hall. Mannion Contracting, they'll bring us to 13 girls now. Down the first straight we go. Here we go. Here's a race and a half. It's Farrell. Oh, Paget cuts round the outside. She's got these wet weather conditions down pat at this stage. So it's Paget, Farrell. Then back to Mannion we go. Turn number 2 we go. It's Paget. Farrell's right there. Mannion with a white clothing on. Back to Tuck we go. And Linnet. But down the third straight we go. Farrell's got their outside line. Can she swoop round? Not enough. Oh, she cuts back to the inside. The race is on now. It's Paget's half a bike length. Farrell's right there with her as we come towards the line. Who's going to throw it at the line the quickest? Oh, Farrell on the line. Let's get excited, people. And back to Mannion we go. JJ's Bakehouse brings us the 13 boys. Out of the gate we go. I reckon it's Butterworth out in front at this stage, and it's back to Lupton in second. It'll be Savage and then Medcraft. They're all trying to find that better line here in the wet weather. It's Lupton and Butterworth side by side. 2 by 2 we go, crank for crank. Round turn number 2. Oh, Lupton took the inside line, got it. But Butterworth's going to fight back. It's going to get tight at the end. Oh, the squeeze. Oh, talk about tight. It's great racing here. This is the Tassie Thunder. This is what it's all about. Lupton at this stage. Lupton's going to get it. Lupton, Butterworth, Savage and Medcraft. Masters brought to you by the Medcraft family. So big shout out to the Medcraft family for this one. Thank you. Okay, into turn number 1 we go. Looks like it's Ellis, French, the top 2. Anderson, Oxley, and then Burgess we go. As they make their way up the second straight, it's Ellis out in front. He's got the action, and the oldest young guy in the race. They'll be back to French. Here comes Oxley. Oh, we're nearly 3 wide. It's almost 2.5 wide there. Oh, Anderson's made a move. Burgess is trying to find a gap. But out in front, though, it's Ellis at this stage. So it's Ellis, French, Anderson. Oh, here he comes. Burgess cuts to the inside as they make the way to the finish line. So it is going to be Ellis held onto this one. Ellis, French, Anderson. Burgess on the number 11. Then back to Oxley. Junior Superclass men brought to you by Sprung. Out of the gate we go. Looks like Rush got a great one on the inside, though. On the outside, it could be French at this stage. It's going to get tight. Oh, that was tight. Held my breath there for momentarily as they charge her out the second straight. So it's French at this stage. Rush, Beams is right in there. Townsend, Williams, Phillips, Blythe, they're all in there, all the junior Superclass. Brought to you by Sprung as they make their way down the third straight we go. All bit of loose wheels action happening. But out in front, though, it is French at this stage. They charge towards the finish line. French, Rush, Beams is coming back at him. It's going to be tight. French, Rush, Beams, Townsend, Phillips, Williams, Blythe. Superclass women brought to you by RMW Repairs. Out of the gate we go. Looks like Gunn got the... she shot out like a gun there. Down to turn number 1, so Gunn out in front. The second place, it could be Mannion at this stage, or it could be Broomhall. It's Broomhall moved up to second, then back to Mannion. Turn number 2, oh, hear those tyres as the pace picks up. So it's Gunn, Broomhall, Mannion, Beams, Farrell holding down, doing great. She normally rides a cruiser here, stepped up to the Superclass today, but it's Gunn out in front. So it's Gunn's going to hold on to this one. The race is on for second. Here we go towards the finish line. So it's going to be Gunn over the line. Who's going to get this one? Oh, I think Mannion may have got that one. Yeah, Mannion got that one going by the transponder. Okay, the first our Superclass men. Brought to you by Sprung, this one. Out of the gate we go. They're all dressed in black. That's great. We've got Stewart, McLeod, Hughes, Oxley and Fletcher as they make their way up the second straight. We'll sort out who's who in the zoo very shortly. It's Fletcher out in front. So Fletcher's on the 69, back to the 917. of Hughes, and the 22 comes through McLeod. As they make their way down through the rhythm section, we go. The pace is picking up. They don't mind the wet weather riding these riders. Around the final corner we go. It's Fletcher out in front. Fletcher with the red gloves on as he charges towards the finish line. So it's going to be Fletcher, Hughes, and then McLeod. Second heat for the Superclass men, brought to you by Sprung. Jolly got a great drive on the inside there, and they're all white. As they make their way down to turn number 1, we go. It's Jolly at this stage, and we'll sort the rest out shortly as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it looks like it's Moran holding down second place. So it's Jolly, Moran, then the 56 of Smith comes through as they make their way down that third straight down through the rhythm section. Blink and you'll miss these riders. That's poetry in motion. They are riding the Thunder as they make their way around turn number 3 we go. So it is going to be Moran on the outside. Jolly was caught napping in that one. Then back to the 56 of Smith. For all our wonderful spectators out there enduring the weather conditions here today, don't forget trackside canteens open for all your food requirements down there. The Brew Coffee Huts down there. And I'm trying to get the correct name here for the Chills Wheels. They're down there also. Might not be warm enough for an ice cream, but you're definitely sweet enough for an ice cream. So head on down there, grab your ice cream, some Chills Wheels. Brew Coffee Hut for your hot chocolates, your coffees, and a cup of tea if you'd like. And the trackside canteen is also open down there. Moto number 3, Mini Wheelers, brought to you by SJ City Cash. Out of the gate we go. Looks like it's Jalen at this stage. Peyton's out in front. Also, who else we got in there? There'll be the number 151. There'll be Jacob in there also. As they make their way down through the rhythm section, we'll go loose side of them. They're that small on these little mini wheelers. Jalen gets down into turn number 3. Don't forget, they're looking for the cheers of the crowd. 2 hands clapping. As they make their way around the final corner we go. So at least someone listens to instructions. Here we go. Here comes Jalen on the 33 out in front. As he makes his way to the finish line, Jalen. Oh, looks like it's Peyton holding on to second position. Great ride in this one. But Jalen on the 33, he's going fast, he's telling me. So he is. Peyton holding down second position on the bright pink bike with a frozen helmet. Great to see. The 30 comes through of Leo. Missed that one. So Leo gets the third with the big face painting. The 151. That'll be Jacob as he makes his way to the finish line. Jacob on the 151. Apparently he was sitting in the car for an hour waiting to get here today. And where is he? Number 12, young Cooper. He's behind the tabletop there somewhere. Come on, Cooper. Out of the gate we go for the Cruiser 35 to 39, brought to you by Elite Painting. Out of the gate initially, Tonks got the initial jump out of the gate, then she got swallowed up. Looks like it's Oxley out in front, then back to Lorenz and then back to Tonks we go. That's the top 3 here for the Elite Painting Cruisers. As you make our way down the second straight we go. So it was Oxley out in front. He's running double duties today, same as Lorenzen. I think he's running about 5 or 6 duties. Then back to Tonks. She's laughing her head off, too much laughing. Keep racing. as we make our way down to the final corner we go. So it's Oxley out in front. So Oxley will hold on to this one, I'd say. Back to Lorenzen. And then Tonks for the Elite Painting Cruiser, 35 to 39. Six Sprockets brought to you by the Scott Smith Orthodontist. As they make the way out of the gate we go. It looks like it's Chapman out in front at this stage. And we'll get the rest very shortly. Round turn number one, we go up the second straight. It'll be Chapman out in front as they make their way up through the damp conditions, but the track is running fast here today. So it is Chapman out in front, then back to the 161. They'll be Lang holding down second position. Further back we go. I reckon he's the 107 of Anderson. But out in front though, it's Chapman and Lang. They're the top two protagonists as they charge their way down that third straight we go. Down to turn number three is still Chapman at this stage. I think this is going to be 3 from 3 here today if you can hold on to this one. So Chapman's out in front, so it's going to be Chapman, Lang. Then further back we've got Anderson, Tuck, and Richardson Coker in there, but it's going to be Chapman over the line. Chapman, Lang. This is the Six Sprockets brought to you by Scott Smith Orthodontist. Seven Sprockets out of the gate we go, brought to you by Tony and Anita Savage. As they make their way down to turn number one we go. So it's Mason out in front at this stage. So it's Mason, then we'll get the rest very shortly. We're out of turn number one we go. So it's Mason as they make their way up the second straight. Who's in second position? It looks like it is the number 12. That'll be Riley holding down second position. Leonard's in third, then back to Franken we go. But around turn number two we go. Our leader, that's young Mason. He takes the centre line down the track. So it is Mason, Riley, Leonard, Frankham as they make their way down through the rhythm section, keeping the rubber side down into turn number three there. Shakaya, start putting two hands together, start clapping as they make their way around the final corner we go. So it is Mason out in front. Oh, the race is on for second. Leonard's moved up. So it's going to be Mason, Leonard now, then back to Riley and Frankham. 15's out of the gate, brought to you by Mannion Contracting as they make their way down the first straight. It is Mannion out in front. So Mannion, proudly brought to you by Mannion Contracting. This is great sponsorship here. Out of turn number one we go. So it is Mannion out in front. Broomhall, Kirkland's coming up to second now, I think. So it is Mannion out in front. So it's Mannion, Broomhall, Kirkland will get the right order there as they make their way down through the rhythm section. The third straight we go. So it is Mannion out in front. So Mannion, Broomhall, Kirkland as they make their way around the final corner, head towards home. This is brought to you by Mannion Contracting for the 15 girls. They charge toward the line. So it is going to be Mannion, Broomhall, Kirkland. 14 boys brought to you by RMW Repairs. As out of the gate we go, looks like it's Blythe at this stage. So it's Blythe, Williams, Dawson as they charge their way down the first straight we go. As they make their way round turn number two we go. So it's Blythe, Williams, Dawson as they charge the way down through the rhythm section we go, down through that radio straight as we like to call it. They all safely through this stage. Round the final corner, here we go. It's Blythe out in front, so it's Blythe, Williams, Dawson as they charge towards the finish line for the RMW 14 boys. Eight boys out of the gate we go for the AAP interior linings as they dive down to turn number one. I think Tonks has got the lead now. It's Tonks, he's got the lead in this one. So it'll be Tonks, Lang, Man, Shandon as they make their way up the second straight we go. Charge into the second corner. So Tonks, he's got the better of Lang at this stage. We better not give up. Here comes Man Shandon. He's got the thunder on his face there from the face painting as they make their way down the third straight. Oh, it's tight. Very tight. That's called riding the white line. But anyway, round the final corner we go as they make their way towards the finish line. So it is Tonks out in front. So it's Tonks, Lang, they're the top two for the AAP interior linings. 8 boys, so it is going to be Tonks, Lang, Man, Shandon. 9 girls brought to you by Sprung. Out of the gate we go, so it is Burgess out in front. We'll get some other numbers, so I think O'Connor's in there. Stubbs and Ellis. So Ellis in second. Right, we've now sorted ourselves out. So it is Burgess out in front. So it's Burgess, Ellis are the top two as they charge their way up the second straight. Then it's back to the 911 of Stubbs in third position. Then O'Connor. Burgess round turn number 2 we go. Ellis down the inside there. The 911 of Stubbs. And then O'Connor on the number 12. As they make their way down that third straight we go. So still Burgess out in front. So Burgess, Ellis, they're the top two here for the sprung 9 girls as they make their way down towards the finish line. 48. As they make their way to the finish line. So it is going to be Burgess will hold on to this one. So Burgess, Ellis, O'Connor and then Stubbs. JJ's Bakehouse brings us the 9 boys. Here we go. It's Mason on the inside. I reckon it's Farrell on the outside. And everyone else is on the outside of the outside. As they make their way up the second straight we go, we'll figure out who's who. So it's Mason, Farrell, Fogg, and the 19 of Sweets in there also. As they make their way around turn number 2 we go. So it is now Mason, Farrell. Fogg's trying to fight back. He in second, third, second. Let's call it. But it's Mason out in front. So Mason around turn number 3 we go. Oh, Fogg sweeps around the outside of Farrell. As they make their way towards the finish line, who's going to hold on this one? I think Mason should hold on to this. There's going to be Mason, Fogg, Farrell, and then Sweet. Ten boys brought to you by Scott Smith Orthodontics as they make their way down the first straight we go. It looks like it's Lehman at this stage. No, it's Hill. Sweeps around the outside. So it is Hill, Lehman and then Smith Towns as they make their way up the second straight we go. Dive into turn number 2, though. It's the 118 of Hill out in front. The 804 of Lehman, then the 99 of Smith Towns as they make their way down the third straight we go. So it's still Hill out in front. This is brought to you by the Scott Smith Orthodontics for all your orthodontics requirements. As they make their way around the final corner we go. Oh, Lehman, he made that inside move, couldn't quite make it stick. As they come towards the finish line we go. So it is going to be Hill, Lehman and Smith Towns. (25 to 29) brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. As they make their way down the first straight we go. So it'll be Stewart out in front in this one. Lorenzon's holding on to second position, then back to tuck we go. Out of turn number 1 we go up the second straight, so it's Stewart out in front. He's got this one running one already if he can keep the rubber side down. He's got the 188. And back to Lorenzen on the 30, and then tuck on the 646 we go. Down the third straight we go, so it's Stewart out in front. So Stewart's got a nice lead at this stage. So it's going to be Stewart. Lorenzen's holding out tuck. Oh, he squeezed him to the outside. That was a different move. Out of the final corner we go. So it is going to be Stewart here for the Michelle O'Byrne, 25 to 29 men. Turbo BMX brings us the 12 girls. And there's a Turbo BMX rider out in the lead in this one. It's Williams out in front. So it's Williams, Rockcliffe, Carroll, and back to Tonks we go. Around the first corner down the second straight. It is still Williams out in front from the Turbo BMX. Back to Rockcliffe holding down second. Carroll's in third, then back to Tonks we go. As we make our way down that third straight we go, so it's still Williams out in front. So it's Williams, Rockcliffe, Carroll, Tonks. I'd say it's going to be the finishing order for the Turbo BMX 12 girls. Out of the gate we go here for the AAP Interior Linings 12 boys. It's the Man Shandon and Hall show this one. As the track starts to dry up, the pace picks up. As around turn number 1 we go down the second straight, it is still Man Shandon out in front. So it's Man Shandon, Hall, they're the top two here for the AAP Interior Linings 12 boys. As they make their way around turn number 2 down the third straight. Down the third straight we go. It's the AAP Interior Linings 12 boys. It's still Man Shandon out in front. So Man Shandon, he's cruising for this one. Then back to Hall. That's the 12 boys. Gate drops to the Mannion Contracting. 13 girls, away we go. Oh, it's a Farrell and Paget show again. One nervous dad up her in the hill. Okay, we'll follow him. Okay, Paget's on the inside, Farrell's on the outside. Paget's got that half a bike length. Oh, here comes Farrell. She had the high line. She's got a full bike length lead now. Now it's Farrell. Paget will take that inside line. Keeps on the power as they drive their way down the third straight down through the rhythm section. It's Farrell at this stage. It's Farrell, Paget, and one nervous dad as they make their way down to turn number 2 we go. Oh, Paget swoops the inside. Farrell's on the outside. Now the drag race is on. Who's got the legs? It's Farrell. It's Paget. On towards the line we go. It's going to be Farrell held onto this one. Back to Paget and Mannion for the Mannion Contracting 13 girls. JJ's Bakehouse 13 boys, one lost, missed the gate completely there as they make their way down the first straight we go. We'll get some numbers. I reckon it's Butterworth out in front. So it's Butterworth, Lupton, Savage, Medcraft as they make their way around turn number 1 down the second straight we go. So it is the 44 out in front. Tasmanian Development Academy rider there, but Butterworth, so it's Butterworth, Lupton, Savage and Medcraft, they make their way down that third straight as the wind picks up here, around the final corner, head towards home. So it's a crosswind for these riders, makes the riding difficult, but just shows the skills these riders have as he charge towards the finish line. So it's going to be Butterworth, Lupton, Savage, Medcraft. Speaking of Medcraft, the Medcraft family proudly bring you the Masters 30 plus class as they make their way down to turn number 1 we go. So it's Ellis out in front, so it's Ellis, Oxley, Anderson, Burgess, French as they make the way. Oh, French must have missed the gate, he charges his way through. So Ellis still out in front, Oxley's holding down second, Burgess is almost up to second as they make their way down the third straight we go. So it's still Ellis out in front, so it's Ellis, French, Oxley, Anderson's on the outside, back to Burgess we go, round the final corner heading towards home. So it's Ellis at this stage, so Ellis will hold on to this one. Ellis, French got back up to second, great ride. Anderson, here comes Burgess and Oxley. Burgess got nothing left. Junior Superclass out of the gate we go, brought to you by Sprung. Great drive initially there by French and Beams as they charge their way down to turn number 1 we go. It's French at this stage, so it's French, Beams, Townsend, Rush. They're the top 4 as they charge around turn number 1. This is brought to you by Sprung, the mountain bike shop. As we make our way around turn number 2 we go. Oh, French took that nice high line. Here comes Beams at him. Townsend's right in there. Rush, Phillips, Blythe, Williams as they make their way around the final corner we go. Head towards the finish line. Who's got the legs? I think French has got this one. It's Beams is coming at him though. It's going to be French, Beams, Townsend. Superclass women brought to you by RMW Repairs. As they make their way down the first straight we go, it's like it's going out in front from the Superclass. Then we've got their 2 junior Superclass riders right there in second and third would be Broomhall and Mannion as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it is Gunn out in front. Gunn isn't getting it easy here today with these junior riders right on the hammer with Broomhall, Mannion. Here comes Beans. And probably the oldest rider in the class here today, Farrell, but she's given the young ones a run for their money. But out in front though is Gunn at this stage. So Gunn's going to hold on to this one. If she can get over these last couple of jumps we come towards the finish line, so it is going to be Gunn, Broomhall, Mannion, Beams and Farrell. Up at the gate next, Superclass men brought to you by Sprung. Quiet please. Shh, shh. Boom, the gates down, away we go. Great initial jump there by, I think it was Griffiths on the inside there as they charge their way down to turn number 1. We'll get some numbers shortly as they make their way up the second straight. It's the 917 out in front, so it's Hughes out in front, so it's Hughes. They're back to the 69 of Fletcher in there as they make their way down the third straight. Smith's in third position as they charge into turn number 1 we go. So it's the, so it's Hughes out in front, we'll get it right here. So it's Hughes, no it's Fletcher, so it's Fletcher. Then it's back to Hughes, get it around the right order. 56 comes through with Smith. Griffiths, the local lad, and then Stewart. Second heat for the Superclass men brought to you by Sprung. It's Jolly on the outside, Moran on the inside as they make their way down to turn number 1 we go. The track's starting to dry a little bit. It's still Moran at this stage on the 17. Here comes Jolly with a W1 on the outside. Then it's back to the 22 comes through of McLeod as they make their way around the second corner there, down the third straight. It's still Moran on the inside, Jolly's on the outside. Oh, Jolly does the undercut and gets him as they come towards the finish line. Jolly, that's why he's got a W1 plate on the world number 1 plate. Back to Moran. The 22 comes through of McLeod. Oh, then the Morris on the 26, the local hero there. Okay, now here's the 5-minute break. This is the toilet stop, the quick break for everyone to grab something, go to the toilet, then we'll get back under racing here today at the inaugural Tassie Thunder. Okay, as everyone starts, just a quick 5-minute break, just a shout out. We're about to do the Lucky Door prize. So a big shout out. This is a massive shout out to Lowe's BP. We've got 4 $50 fuel vouchers up for grabs. Proudly brought to you by Lowe's BP. So find your tickets that you got when you come through the gate. So our first ticket is a blue ticket, D26. So if you've got a blue ticket, D26, make your way down to see the president of the Launceston BMX Club, Matt Manshanda, and he'll give you your first of the Lowe's BP fuel vouchers. Okay, can you hear us now? Okay, Lowe's BP, proud sponsor of today's event for the Lucky Door prize, $50 fuel voucher. So if you've got a blue ticket, D26, blue ticket, D26, you've won the first year Lowe's fuel voucher. Second ticket, red, C54. C54. I'll put my hand in my own pocket and find my own ticket. Okay, their fourth one. Third. Blue, D88. D88. That's 2 8s, 2 ducks. If you've got it, come on down and grab your prizes. Brought to you by Lowe's BP. D, blue ticket, D53. Blue ticket, D53. We'll call the numbers out again a bit later. But they are the 4 prizes, winners for the Lowe's BP fuel vouchers. We'll do the numbers again later. 1, 2. Okay, this is it. The fuel vouchers brought to you by Lowe's BP. For those who didn't hear the numbers, you would have gotten a ticket when you arrived today. So we're after blue ticket D26, D26 blue ticket, red ticket C54, blue ticket D88, and another blue ticket D53. So if the prizes aren't claimed, apparently I get them. So I love it. So just check your pockets. If you've got those tickets, head on to the registration box and grab your prize. Brought to you by Lowe's BP. Okay, riders, let's get back into it. All riders and officials, back to your spots, please. About to get underway here for motos 4 and 5 at the Tassie Thunder. All junior superclass riders, make your way down to the registration box, please. All junior superclass riders. All junior superclass men's riders, please. All junior superclass men riders, make your way down to the registration box now, please. All junior superclass men riders, you are required by the officials at the registration box. All mini wheelers to your staging area, please. All mini wheelers to your staging area. Okay, race fans, better get away from moto number 4. I think we've lost a mini wheeler. He's a bit tired. Don't blame him. Okay. Our mini wheeler is brought to you by SJ City Cash. So a big shout out to all the sponsors of today's events, all the ones who sponsors each race, and then also the fuel vouchers brought to you by Lowe's BP. So we've still got 2 unclaimed prizes. So 2 have gone, so we'll call the numbers out again after this moto. So if you still haven't claimed a prize, still got your tickets, listen out for the missing 2 numbers. Okay, the mini wheelers are Wayne Racing, brought to you by SJ City Cash as they make their way around turn number turn number 2 on the track, turn number 1 for these riders. As the mini wheelers make their way down through the rhythm section we go. Looks like it's Jalen out in front, Peyton's right in there, Jacob also, and back to Leo we go. Don't forget, you got the trackside canteen, you got Chills Wheels, you got the brew coffee hut, you also got the cake stall down there if you want to grab something to eat. Also, the ladies are walking around with the raffle tickets. So if you want to grab yourself a raffle ticket, some great prizes there. Okay, our mini wheelers from SJ City Cash. Jalen went up high, he wants to get the pace up over this tabletop. Up and over we go. Peyton's holding on to second position. As they make their way down the final straight we go. 151, that'll be Jacob in there. He almost into second position, but Peyton pulled away. But here comes Jalen over the line. He's got the tongue hanging out, that means he's going fast. Here comes Peyton, she has a huge smile on her face. Jacob over the line, then back to Leo. Elite Painting brings us the Cruisers, 35 to 39 out the gate we go. On the outside, it's Oxley. On the inside, it's Lorenzen, and out the back there, it's Tonks as they make their way up into turn number 1. Out of 1 we go to the step up, through the doubles, through the middle, over the little roller, the step up, step down. There's Oxley out in front. So it's Oxley on the 50, then back to Lorenzen on the 30. And on the 41, here comes Tonks. She's got the pace into turn number 2. As our riders make their way over the finish line, just a shout out, we're missing some of the riders that lost their gloves with all the windstorm that's happening. So if you find a sprung glove, can you drop down to the canteen, please? One of our riders is missing his glove, lost in the wind. But our Cruisers, brought to you by Elite Painting, was Oxley, Lorenzen and Tonks. 6 sprockets out of the gate we go. This is proudly brought to you by the Scott Smith Orthodontics as they make their way around turn number 1. Up the second straight we go. I reckon it's Chapman out in front. As it is, it's the 19, so it is Chapman out in front. Then it's back to the 161 of Lang in second position. Then back to the 107 of Anderson. But out in front though, it's Chapman at this stage. He's going to go 4 from 4 if he can keep the rubber side down as he charges his way down to turn number 3. Our leaders are already into the final corner, into the final straight. Our third position rider, Anderson, just coming into the third straight we go. But it's going to be Chapman out in front. Chapman will hold on to this one. So Chapman back to Lang with the top 2 here for the Scott Smith Orthodontics. 6 sprockets. As we make our way back to our third position rider, still to come around the final corner. Anderson, Tuck, and Richardson Coker, I think it is, they make their way down towards the finish line. Seven sprockets away we go, brought to you by Tony and Anita Savage as they make their way towards the finish. I've heard number 1 already. Out in front though, it's Mason at this stage, so it's Mason out in front. Looks like it's Leonard in second, Riley in third, then back to Franken we go. As they make their way up into turn number 2 we go, so it is Mason out in front. So Mason, Leonard, Riley, Frankham around turn number 2, down the third straight we go, down through the rhythm section. All take that middle line by the looks of it. Mason, he's on that inside line for turn number 3, the shortest distance. He goes up high so he can get on the power out of the final corner as he heads towards the finish line. He better smile for the camera as he comes towards the line there. Over the line is young Mason. Mason, Leonard, Riley and Frankham. 15's out of the gate from Mannion Contracting we go. It's Mannion on the inside, Broomhall on the outside, then back to Kirkland we go. Oh, the door was slammed shut on Mannion as they make their way round turn number 1. Up the second straight we go, so it's Broomhall out in front. So it's Broomhall, Mannion, Kirkland as they make their way down into turn number 2 we go. Let's follow the leader at this stage. Out here we go. Here goes Mannion trying to make a move. Broomhall's got to cover to this stage. Kirkland's right in there trying to find a way through. As they make the way down to turn number 3, we go. Still Broomhall out in front. It's Broomhall, it's Mannion, it's Kirkland as they charge towards the finish line. This is the Mannion Contracting 15 girls who charge towards the finish line. It's Mannion, it's Broomhall on the low. It's Broomhall. I got the official from the transponder, so it is Broomhall, Mannion, Kirkland. D18, blue ticket. You're the final ticket we were after for the Lowe's BP fuel voucher. D18 blue. As we make our way up into turn number 2 here for the RMW repairs. 14 boys is Blythe out in front. So it's Blythe. Williams, back to Dawson we go. As I make our way to the cameraman, happy birthday again. As we come into turn number 3, it's Blythe out in front. So it's Blythe. Williams, Dawson, this is the RMW repairs. 14 boys here today at the Tassie Thunder as it charges towards the finish line. So it is Blythe, Williams, Dawson. 8 boys out of the gate, brought to you by AAP Interior Linings as they make their way down to turn number 1. Let's figure out who's who in the zoo here. It's Tonks in second, I got that much. It's Lang in first, they charge away up the gate, up the second straight, and then it's back to Dougie Manchan in third. Around the second corner we go. As Lang Tonks has tried that inside line again. Has he got the pace? As he pumps his way down the second straight. Lang still got the preferred race line. Oh, it's all about rubbing of elbows. Oh, we got tight there. Round the final corner, here we go. Here's a drag race. Let's get excited as they charge towards the finish line. Oh, Lang's pulled half a bike length on him. It's going to be Lang on the line. Lang, Tonks and Manchandon. 9 girls brought to you by Sprung. As I make the way down the first straight we go. 1T with 911 on the top though, it's Burgess. Round turn number 1 we go. Then it's back to Ellis in second. Stubbs holding on to third, then O'Connor. As they make the way down the second straight we go. So it is Burgess out in front, so it's Burgess. Our first place rider has come round turn number 2 we go. Ellis is holding on to second. Stubbs is in there in third, then back to O'Connor we go. As they make their way around turn number 2. Our leader's driving into turn number 3. So it's Burgess out in front at this stage. As Burgess comes towards the finish line here for the Sprung 9 girls. So it is going to be Burgess who will hold on to this one. Burgess, one excited mother in the crowd by the sounds of it. Ellis will hold on to second as the gate drops for the next race, but Ellis, O'Connor moved up to third, then back to Stubbs we go. The JJ's Bakehouse 9 boys already into turn number 1 we go. It's Farrell out in front. Here's a turn up. Farrell, here comes Mason. It's going to be a drag race. Farrell, Mason, Field is right up here there in this one. As they come towards turn number 2 we go. It's Farrell. Mason cuts back to the inside. Field's got the race face on. Fogg's right in there, also Sweet. As we make our way down the third straight we go. There's still Mason out in front though. Mason's got a bit of a lead now over Farrell, but Farrell keeping him honest. Round the final corner we go. Fogg's moved up to third. Field's fighting back. But it's going to be Mason, Farrell, Fogg, Field as we come towards the finish line. So it's going to be Mason, Farrell, Fogg, Field and Sweet. Gate drops for the Scott Smith Orthodontics 10 boys. As they make their way down the first straight we go. I'd say it's Hill out in front, so it's Hill, Lehman, Smith, Towns. No umbrella to hide under this time. As they make their way under the Lowe's BP umbrella, wonderful sponsor, this is Lowe's BP. As we make our way into turn number 2 we go, so it's Hill out in front, so it's Hill, Lehman, Smith, Towns are the top 3 here for the Scott Smith Orthodontics 10 boys. As we make our way down to turn number 3 we go. This is the 10 boys, as I said, brought to you by Scott Smith Orthodontics. As your commentator hides under a Lowe's BP Umbrella up here on turn number 2. Over towards the finish line. It's going to be a hill at this stage. So it's going to be a hill. Lehman in that one, and then back to Smith Towns. Okay, the 25 to 29 brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. Into turn number 1 we go. So it'll be Stewart out in front. So it's Stewart, Tuck, Lorenzen. Okay, here comes Stewart. He wants to get back under that tent to keep himself dry. Here comes Tuck on the 646. And back to Lorenzen running quadruple duties here today. As they make their way down that third straight, down through the rhythm section there. The racing will continue. Doesn't matter what the weather conditions are. As they make their way towards the finish line, it is going to be Stewart, Tuck and Lorenzen for the Michelle O'Byrne 25 to 29 men. "12 Girls" brought to you by Turbo BMX. Out of the gate we go. Rockcliffe got a good drive, but Williams has gone with us. So Williams is into turn number 1, and first hose is Williams, Rockcliffe, Carroll, and then back to Tonks we go. As they chase away up the second straight we go. So it is Williams out in front, brought to you by Turbo BMX. Into turn number 2 we go. So it is going to be Williams, Rockcliffe, Carroll, Tonks. As they make their way down the third straight. It's going to be Williams out in front. So it's Williams. Put it down, we'll lose it. Okay, so it's Williams. Rockcliffe's gone up high. She wants to get the pace. Carroll went to the inside line, then back to Tonks we go. Charge towards the finish line. This is the Turbo BMX 12 Girls with Williams, Rockcliffe, Carroll and Tonks. AAP Interior Linings brings us the 12 boys now. Man Shandon out in front, then back to Hall we go. Around turn number 1 up that second straight we charge. So it is Man Shandon out in front on the 39. He's got a clean set of hills so far today. Into turn number 1. I think he's looking for his goggles. There comes Hall. He's got the race face on. He's given chase. He hasn't given up at all. But out in front does Man Shandon. It is brought to you by the AAP Interior Linings for the 12 boys. Around the final corner we go, head towards home. It is going to be Man Shandon and then Hall. Mannion Contracting brings us the 13 girls. The two protagonists are either side of the track in this one. Paget, Farrell, as they charge into turn number 1 we go. It's Paget this stage. She had the preferred gate in this one. As they make their way up the second straight, so it's Paget this stage. So it's Paget, Farrell, Mannion, Tuck, Linnet. As they make their way around turn number 2 we go. It's still Paget out in front in the leads. They down through that rhythm section we go. They pump their way down there trying to get the best pace they can around the final corner. Over the final tabletop, head towards the finish line. So it is Paget will hold on to this one. So it's going to be Paget, Farrell, Mannion, Tuck and Linnet. Brought to you by Mannion Contracting. Gate down for JJ's Bakehouse. 13 boys, away we go. Lupton got a great one on the inside, but I think Butterworth got him covered at this stage. Back to Savage and Medcraft. As they come around turn number 1 we go. So it's Butterworth, Lupton, Savage, Medcraft. They charge down the second straight we go. Down into turn 2. It's on the 44 of Butterworth out in front. The 212 of Lupton giving great chase. The 3T of Savage and the 259 of Medcraft. As they make their way down that third straight we go. Lupton hasn't given up. He's trying to find a way. He'll do the old undercut here. No, it doesn't quite work, but he's got the race pace in the legs as they charge towards the finish line. It's Butterworth, Lupton and Butterworth. Oh, Butterworth just on the line. This is some great racing here today at the Tassie Thunder. Up next, we've got the Medcraft family. Brings us the Masters, the 30 plus. As they make their way into turn number 1 we go. Looks like we might have lost one on the gate there. May have slipped the pedal, but it's Ellis out in front. So it's Ellis, Anderson, Oxley, Burgess, and here comes the mean machine himself, French, as they make their way down the third straight. 3 wide on the third straight here at the Tassie Thunder. As they come down round the final corner, that was to get third place. But our leader, it's Ellis out in front. It's Ellis will hold on to this one. Ellis, Anderson's just holding it. Here comes French at him. Oh! That's why you pedal all the way to the line. You should know that. You're old enough. Right, the junior superclass men brought to you by Sprung. Out of the gate we go. Looks like it's Rush on the inside. Oh, here comes French round the outside, showing his old man how to do it. As they make their way down the second straight we go. So it is French, Rush, Beams, and throw a blanket over the rest of them. As they round turn number 2 we go. So it's French, Rush Beans to the top three. Oh, Blythe has moved up to fourth. Down through the rhythm section, down through the third straight we go. Into turn number 3 we go. That's French. He's got a clean set of heels at this stage. So it's French. The race is going to be on for second between Rush and Beans. As we French on the line, it's going to be Beams, I think, got it. Beams got that one, then back to Rush. That was brought to you by Sprung. RMW repairs for the Super and Junior Super Class women. At the gate we go down to turn number 1. Big Gun out in front. So it's Gun, Broomhall, Mannion, Beams, Farrell. As they make their way up the second straight we go into turn number 2. This is how you get round the track fast here today. It's Gun out in front. She's grimacing with a pace she has to put on to keep these young ones behind her as they charge their way down the third straight. It is still Gun out in front. So as they come around turn number 3, head towards the finish line, it's going to be Gun. This will be 4 from 4, I think it will be. As you go, oh, slight mishap there, but it's going to be Gun will hold on this one. Gun, Broomhall, Mannion, Beams, and then Farrell, the queen of the cruiser class. The first of the Superclass men brought to you by Sprung. Out of the gate we go. Looks like it's Moran on the inside. Got the lead of the stage. I think it is Moran on the pink bike there. Around turn number 1 we go. Got tight there as they charge their way up the second straight we go. On the outside it's the 69 there, Fletcher. So it's Moran, Fletcher, and Hughes the top 3. And back to Morris we go. Down the third straight we go. Around the outside, I think Fletcher got him. Fletcher did get him. He's got the pace here today. It could be interesting when it comes to a final. But it's going to be Fletcher, Moran. Back to Hughes we go. The 26, the local rider of Morris. And the 188 running double duties of Bailey Stewart. Second moto of the Superclass men brought to you by Sprung. Away we go. Jolly jumped out of the gate quite well in that one as they make their way down to turn number 1 we go. There's Jolly in the bright white there. You can't miss him out on the track. He's also got the world number 1 plate on the front as they drive into second, into turn number 2. Oh, it's Griffiths up. No, it's not Griffiths. Sorry, missed rider. 2 purple bikes out there as they make their way. I think it was Smith in the second position. Around the final corner we go. So it's Jolly out in front. Heading towards home. So it's Smith holding on to second, then back to the 22 of McLeod. Okay, we've now got to the business end of the day, moto number 5. So a reminder, if there's not a final for your class and you're equal on points at the end of the 5th moto, the highest placed rider of those equal placing riders will get the win out of it. If that makes sense, I'm glad it does. Some classes will have finals. So need to listen out who will be in the finals. But this is where it all happens. This is where we get excited. This is where we get loud. Let's get loud. Let's boogity, boogity, boogie. Let's go racing. It's Peyton out in front of this stage. Oh, they're all over the place. Let's sort this one out. Oh, it's Peyton out in front. This is the Mini Wheelers, proudly brought to you by SJ City Cash, I think it was. Yes, SJ City Cash, big shout out to you. Thank you very much. But it's Peyton out in front of this stage. As they make their way down through the rhythm section we go. It's the Mini Wheelers. The last chance to get loud for these riders. The last time to see them. The last time to clap them on. As they make their way. They've all stopped. Come on, Peyton. Let's show them how to do it. As they make their way towards the finish. There's Peyton out in front of this stage on the 303. There's Peyton, then Jalen back on the 33 as they charge towards the finish line. The sound of 2 hands clapping. All those to stand. Yes, got 1. Britt, thank you. Oh, here we go. Come on, Peyton. You got your cheer squad over the line. Back to Jalen. Who's our third place rider at this stage? The 151. It's Jacob, but the 30 coming of Leo. Jacob and Leo. Leo, Jacob. It's Jacob at this stage. Jacob, Leo. They've never heard so much noise. Up on the gate next we have the cruiser class, brought to you by Elite Painting. So a big shout out to all our sponsors for today's events. Also our vendors over there, the Brew Coffee Hut. Big shout out to you. I see a few people over there, coffees, hot chocolates and a cup of tea here and then. Chills Wheels, been a fair few ice creams come out of there today. The cake stall, I've seen a few people grabbing some nice sweets there for the trip home this afternoon. Trackside Canteen, also support them, but also a big shout out to Turbo BMX over there, one of our sponsors today, and also looking after our riders with any mechanical issues. I think we've still got one Lowe's BP fuel voucher. We'll call that number out very shortly. Big shout out to those, also Lowe's BP. Gate down for the Elite Painting Cruisers. Away we go. Lorenzen on the inside, Oxley on the outside, then back to Tonks we go. As they make their way down to turn number one, it's Oxley at this stage. This is the final time you see some of these riders on the track here today. So let's get excited, let's get loud. Let's rope this wind and ride the tornado, which is happening here today at the Tassie Thunder. So it's Oxley out in front, so it's Oxley, Lorenzen. Come on, Tonks, let's go. Last one. As they make their way down the third straight, our final time for these riders. Our leaders around the final corner heading towards home. That's Oxley at this stage. This is the Elite Painting Cruiser class as they come towards the finish line. So it is going to be Oxley, Lorenzen, then back to Tonks. 6 sprockets have just left the gate, proudly brought to you by Scott Smith Orthodontics as they make their way down the first straight into turn number one. We'll get some numbers shortly, but I reckon out in front there could be the 19 of Chapman. That'll be Chapman, Lang, now the top two as they charge their way into turn number 2. So it is the 19, then it's back to the 161 of Lang. Oh, the 285 of Tuck, he's having a great race in this one. I think he just wants to get out of this rain now. Back to Anderson, I think it is the 107 and the 32 of Richardson Coker. But as they make their way down to turn number 3 we go. So it is Chapman out in front. So it's Chapman, Lang, now they are top 2 riders. They make their way towards the finish line. For the final time, brought to you by Scott Smith Orthodontics. So it is Chapman, Lang, and Tuck will hold on to 3rd position. Seven sprockets out of the gate now, proudly brought to you by Tony and Anita Savage. So a big thank you for you for sponsoring the 7 sprockets here today. Turn number 1 we go, so it looks like it's Mason out in front, so it's Mason, Leonard. Frankham's into 3rd position, then back to Riley we go as they make their way up into turn number 2, so it's Mason out in front with the 67. Back to the 444 Leonard. Frankham's on the 28, the range making him go quicker. Then back to Riley on the number 12 as they make their way down through the 3rd straight, down through the rhythm section we go. There's still Mason out in front, so it's Mason, Leonard, Frankham and Riley. That's the top 4, here we go. Proudly bought 7 sprockets, proudly brought to you by Tony and Anita Savage as they come towards the finish line. So it is going to be Mason will hold on to this one. I think it's 5 from 5 today by young Mason. Leonard, Frankham and at Riley. Mannion Contracting brings us the 15 girls as they make their way down the 2nd straight we go. That's Mannion out in front. Fancy that. So it's Mannion on the Mannion Contracting sponsored race out in front. Back to Broomhall and then Kirkland as they make their way around turn number 2 we go. Down through the rhythm section, the 3rd straight we go. Head down to the furthest part away from the commentary box. Turn 3 we go. Then they swoop around the hairpin and head towards the finish line. So it's Mannion out in front. So it's Mannion, Broomhall, Kirkland. I say that's the finishing order for the Mannion Contracting 15 girls. RMW Repairs, 14 boys out of the gate we go. It's Blythe out front at this stage, and it's back to Williams and Dawson as they make their way down into turn number one we go. So it is Blythe still out in front at this stage. Williams is right there with him, and so is Dawson as they charge their way up into turn number 2 we go. As Blythe out in front, Williams is right there. Dawson's given chase as they turn around turn number 2 we go down the third straight. So it is Blythe out in front. So it's Blythe, Williams, Dawson as they come around the final corner for the final time here today. As they charge towards the finish line, it is going to be Blythe, Williams, Dawson. AAP Interior Linings brings us the 8 boys. Out of the gate we go. It looks like it's Lang out in front. I think it is Lang. Then it's back to Tom. Man Shandon was there slightly. Then Tonks comes through. So it is Lang, Tonks, Man Shandon as they make their way down the third straight we go. Oh, it's some wild action there. The track gets a little bit slipperier. But it's Lang out in front. Lang, Tonks, Man Shandon. Around turn number 3 we go. Head towards home for the final time for these riders. So it is Lang, Tonks, Man Shandon. This is a tight one, ladies and gentlemen, as they come towards the finish line. Oh, Man Shandon's digging deep. Lang, Tonks, Man Shandon. Throw a blanket over all 3 riders there. Brought to you by AAP Interior Lining. Sprung brings us the 9 girls. Who's out in front but none other than the whole shot Princess Burgess as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it's Burgess, Ellis, O'Connor, back to Stubbs we go as they make their way into turn number 2. So it's Burgess with a 1T out in front from the Springer race team as they make their way down the third straight. So it's Ellis in second, O'Connor in third, then back to Stubbs we go as they make their way down through that rhythm section, down through that third straight here at the Launceston BMX Club here for the Tassie Thunder as they make their way around the final corner we go, head towards home. So it is Burgess at this stage. She should go 5 from 5 here today. O'Connor's moved up to second position. Ellis has slipped back to third. But in first on the 1T, it's going to be River from Springer Racing. Here we go. The race is on. O'Connor on the line, then back to Ellis. And Stubbs pulls up the 4th position here for Sprung. 9 boys for JJ's Bakehouse. Out of the gate we go. Head down the first straight. It's Mason at this stage. So it's Mason, Farrell, Fogg, I think, are the top 3 as they charge into turn number 1. Fogg's up to second now as they come out of turn number 1 we go. So it's Mason, Fogg, Farrell. Then back to the 19 of Sweet as they charge their way up into turn number 2 we go. So it's Mason. He's got the nice little lead there. At this stage, Fogg, Farrell, Sweet. The number 11 comes through there. Chapman also as they make their way down the third straight we go. It's Mason at this stage. So it's Mason, Fogg, Farrell down to turn number 3 we go. Oh, it's on for young and old here. Now still Mason at this stage. It's Mason's got the lead, but who's going to get the second? It's Fogg and Farrell. Mason, Farrell, Fogg. And back to transponders can sort the rest of that out. Okay, the 10 boys for the Scott Smith Orthodontics. Into turn number 1 we go with the Lehman, Smith, Townsend, Hill. As we come out of turn number 1 we go. It's Hill out in front, so it is Hill. He's got the lead at this stage on the 118. Back to Lehman in second position on the 804 and the Smith Towns on the 99. As they make their way around turn number 2 we go, so it's still Hill out in front. This is the 10 boys for the Scott Smith Orthodontics. As they make their way down through the rhythm section we go, it is still Hill out in front. Hill, Lehman, Smith, Towns. Around the final corner we go. Head towards the finish line. They're trying to beat the storm, these riders. But they've just got to ride the Thunder here today at that Tassie Thunder. As they come over the line, so it is going to be Hill, Lehman and Smith Towns. Michelle O'Byrne proudly brings us the 25 to 29 men. Out of the gate we go. Who we got out in front? Oh, it's Stewart all the way from Bacchus Marsh BMX Club as he charges his way down the second straight. That's Stewart out in front there. He's loving the weather conditions here. Thinks he's back in Victoria. Back at Lorenzen, then Tuck we go as they make their way down the third straight. So it is Stewart, Lorenzen, Tuck. It could be tight here for the second and third as they make their way down to turn number 3 we go. Tuck squeezes up the inside. Lorenzen cuts back to the inside. The drag race is on, but Stewart's going to hold on to this one. The 188 Stewart, he's got this one. So it's Stewart. Tuck comes through for second and back to Lorenzen for third. Brought to you by Michelle O'Byrne. 12 girls brought to you by Turbo BMX. Round turn number 1, and of course it is a Turbo BMX rider out in front, so it's Williams out in front. So it's Williams, Rockcliffe, Carroll, Tonks as they make their way up into turn number 2. Up under the commentary box here as they round there, line their way up down the third straight we go. Try and get the best line down there. Every line is fast if you get it right down the third straight. So it's Williams out in front. So Williams, Rockcliffe, Carroll, Tonks as they come around the final corner for the final time here for the 12 girls, brought to you by Turbo BMX. It is going to be Williams over the line. So it's Williams, Rockcliffe, Carroll and Tonks. AAP interior linings brings us to 12 boys. So it's Ben Shandon out in front, back to Hall we go. As they make their way up into turn number 2, this is, as I said, the AAP interior linings, one of the local sponsors here of today's racing. As they make their way down the third straight we go, so it is Man Shandon out in front, Man Shandon, Hall, they're the top 2 riders here. As they make their way down into turn number 3 we go, the 12 boys. Final time out on the track here today, so it is going to be Man Shandon, then back to Hall. Gate down way we go for the Mannion Contracting 13 girls. Great drive out of the gate. Once again, Paget got a good initial jump. Farrell's right there with Alf. Paget round the outside she goes. I think she might have recovered in this one as they make their way up the second straight we go. So it is Farrell, Paget, Farrell, Mannion the top 3 as they charge their way into turn number 2. Paget on the 104, Farrell on the 119. Back to Mannion on the 999. Tuck on the 181 and Linnet on the 14 as they make their way round the final round the second corner, heading down towards the final corner we go. It's Paget out in front, so it's Paget back to Farrell as they charge towards the finish line. Paget will hold on to this one, I'd say. So it's going to be Paget, Farrell, Mannion for the Mannion Contracting 13 girls. JJ's Bakehouse, 13 boys out of the gate we go. Looks like it's Butterworth, Lupton, Savage, Midcraft as they dive down into turn number 1. The race is on for the front here. Lupton, he had not been able to find a way around Butterworth today. Can he do it in the 5th and final moto? Oh, they're touching elbows. Oh, they're linked in. Oh, we're all moving up here. Talk about Rubbins Racing as they make their way. Oh, just watch this. Oh, got one down. It's Lupton out in front though. It's Lupton back to Savage, Medcraft as they make their way towards the finish line. It's Lupton at this stage as they come towards the line. Our fallen rider's picked himself up. He wants to get there, but it's going to be Lupton, Savage, Medcraft, and then back to Butterworth. Picked himself up. Masterclass, the 30 plus, brought to you by the Medcraft family. So big shout out to the Medcraft family today. So around turn number 1 we go. So it looks like it's Ellis out in front. So it's Ellis, French, back to Anderson, Oxley, Burgess as they make their way down into turn number 2 we go. It's Ellis out in front, French, Anderson, Oxley, Burgess takes that inside line. Oh, he was making the tyres fight for traction there as they make their way down the third straight we go. So it's Ellis out in front. So it's Ellis, French, Anderson as they make their way round the final corner, head towards the finish line we go. It's still Ellis out in front. So it's Ellis, French, the top 2, back to Anderson. Here comes the Party Marty on the number 11, Burgess, with his own personal cheer squad. That was proudly brought to you by the Medcraft family. Junior Superclass men brought to you by Sprung, the mountain bike shop, as they make their way down the first straight we go. So it's French, looks like at this stage, so it's French, Rush, Beams, Townsend, Phillips, Blythe, Williams I think it is, as they make their way up the second straight we go. Down into turn number 2, you hear the tyres fighting for traction in the wet conditions there. As they make their way down the third straight, it's still French in front, French, Rush, Beams has gone right to the outside trying to find a line. As they make way round the final corner, head towards the finish line. So it is French at this stage, Rush is right there, here comes Beams. French, Rush, Beams, Townsend, Phillips, Blythe, Williams. Proudly brought to you by Sprung. Gate down way we go for the Superclass women, proudly brought to you by RMW Repairs as they make their way down in turn number 1 we go. So it's Gunn out in front, so it's Gunn, Broomhall, Mannion, Beans, Farrell as they make their way towards up this, where are we? Second corner already. So it's Gunn out in front, Mannion's trying to find a line, Broomhall's got it covered, Beans, Farrell as they make their way down the third straight. Oh, Beans comes round, Mannion comes around the outside of Broomhall. Something happened there, but he on our leader. It's Gun out in front. It's going to be Gun will hold on to this one. Gun on the 352. Back to Mannion on the 33. Broomhall on the 66. Beams on the 23. And Farrell on the 21. Up on the gate now, we have the B final for the Superclass men, brought to you by Sprung. 10 riders, doesn't quite fit into 8 on the finals gate. There were 2 riders, Sean Morris, Bailey Stewart. Let's get loud for these riders. Bailey's on the 188 from Bacchus Marsh, BMX Club. 26 is Morris, he's from the Launceston BMX Club. They've raced hard today in some adverse weather conditions. As they make their way around the track, they're going to put on a bit of a show for the crowd here. They're out there enjoying it. It's great to see the riders come all the way from the mainland over here to race on probably one of the better tracks in the state we've got here today. It is the fastest track today in the state, the Launceston BMX Club. Oh, here we go. So it is Stewart on the inside, Morris on the outside as they come towards the finish line. This is going to be interesting. I'll just leave it to the transponder. I think Morris got that one. Back to Stewart. Okay, we're now up to the final of the Superclass men, brought to you by Sprung, the mountain bike shop. We're going to call them to the gate in the order that they qualified. So the number 1 qualifier today on the W1 plate, Joshua Jolly. On the number 69, Hayden Fletcher. 17, Oliver Moran. 917, Andrew Hughes. 56, Billy Smith. 22, Hudson McLeod. 915 from Southern City, Justin Oxley. And from 35 from Wynyard BMX Park, Zeth Griffiths. So quiet please. Shh. Boogity, boogity, boogity. This is Superclass final out of the gate we go. Great one by Jolly on the inside there. We've got someone from the middle there. It's going to get tight as they dive into turn number 1. Well, Moran's up to second place at this stage as they make their way down the second straight. Who's out in front? It's the 69 out in front though. It's Fletcher at this stage. Jolly's right in there. Oh, Jolly takes that inside line. So it's Jolly as we make our way down there, and then back to the 69 of Fletcher. As around turn number 1 we go. So it's Jolly, Fletcher, then it's back to Moran, the top 3 as he comes towards the finish line. So it is the world number 1, Jolly over the line. Fletcher. Oh. And as fast as I could speak, they were over the line. And that brings us to the end of the inaugural Tassie Thunder. A big shout out to all our sponsors and supporters of today's events. All our officials who stood out here in some rather unpleasant weather conditions. A big thank you to all the riders who have travelled from overseas, or over the Bass Strait anyway, for coming today. Thank you everyone. Drive safely. Trackside Canteen is still open for all those who need to get lunch. Presentations will be in about 5 minutes' time behind the registration box.
everybody. While we're waiting for things to get sorted, we might draw a couple of raffles. How can I change it to that? Yeah. Hello everybody, that's better. While we're waiting for the show to get underway for the important stuff, we might do a couple of raffle draws. First, we're going to draw the stuff that we've got sitting up at the fundraising. The second one will be our major raffle, which is the white gold diamond ring. So bear with me for 2 seconds and we'll get it drawn. Hang on. Okay, first prize goes to Nate and Deegan. And it's not my writing. Second prize is... Don't blow them away! Quick kids, pick them up! Pick them up! Got to go back in. You just wait over there. Yeah, there's more coming. Okay, second prize. Second prize is Isaiah. Third prize when we've got them all back in the box. Any more? Any more? Is Turbo. That's 1, 2, 3. All right, that one's done. Now, just wait. Now the big one we've got is our diamond ring. We might have to, yeah, this one.
There's some big swans up there.
Where's the big white bin? Raffle white bucket here somewhere. Is it empty? Where's the big white raffle bucket? No? Is it empty? You just have to wait a minute, mate. All right, we've put this one in the big white bucket, so hopefully it won't blow away. Right. The lucky winner of the white gold diamond ring, kindly donated by SJ City Cash in town, is Kane Cruz. Kane was here yesterday, but he's not here today, so we'll contact him. Thank you to everyone. I think we're just about ready for presentations.
Thanks, Susan. I want to get a couple of elite riders to bust out. Can you do that? Can you bust them up? Can you find them for me? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for participating and competing and battling it out in Tassie Thunder. We've had some amazing races today, some great little battles in a lot of our races, and I think everyone rode exceptionally well today. A lot of spirit. It's great to see, especially given the conditions. So we're going to start with our presentations for our mini wheelers. Congratulations, Jalen. Come up and get your award, Jalen. Peyton, Jacob, and Leo. Once you've got your award from one of our elite riders, head up onto the podium. Head up onto the podium and we'll get a photo of each category of riders. Oh yes, and Cooper, sorry, beg your pardon. Yeah. So we've got 5 mini wheelers for Tassie Thunder this year. No, they'll get the plates. You're just in charge of the money. So hand the guys the money. So that's our mini wheelers for Tassie Thunder 2024. Next up, our 6 sprockets. You can come down now, guys. Someone else's turn. So our 6 sprockets are Carson, Max, Abigail, Logan, and Mason. These are our 5 and 6 sprockets. Here's Mason. Good job, buddy. Head up there for a photo of our 6 sprockets for today. Hang on, wait, Abigail. Head up there. Feel free to jump in the photo, guys, if you want. Yeah, jump in, fellas. Yeah. Congratulations to our 6 sprocket riders. Woo. So next up is our 7 sprockets. George, Geordie, Oliver, and Isaiah. These are our 7 sprockets. Okay, next up we'll have our 8 boys. So this is our first of our... Yeah, so we'll go in ascending order or descending order. So third to first. So our third place 8 boy was Dougie Manshandon. Congratulations. In second position, Lucas Tonks. And our winner of our 8 boys, Rory Lang. Congratulations to our 8 boys. Yeah. Yeah. Sponsored by AAP Interior Linings. Hold your awards high. And hold on to those valuable envelopes. Don't let them blow away. So first prize in the challenge class was 50, second is 30, and third is $20. Next up is our 9 girls. 4 entrants in our 9 girls. In 4th position, Heidi Stubbs. So you got 4th. In 3rd position, Harmony O'Connor. Congratulations. This one was sponsored by Sprung, the 9 girls. In 2nd position, Scarlett Ellis. And in 1st position, River Burgess. So these are our 9 girls, sponsored by Sprung. Next category, 9 boys, sponsored by JJ's Bakehouse. I should also mention that all the top riders, all the riders finishing in the 8th and higher also get $10. So in 7th position in the 9 boys, Deegan Medcraft. In 6th position, Chase Chapman. In 5th position, Cameron Field. In 4th position, Nicholas Sweet. And taking out your 3 spot, Harrison Farrell. In 2nd place, Jacob Fogg. And the winner of the 9 boys, Tassie Thunder, Landon Mason. Congratulations to our 9 boys, sponsored by JJ's Bakehouse. Okay, next up, we'll do our 10 boys. In 3rd position, Isaiah Smith-Towns, sponsored by Scott Smith Orthodontics. In 2nd position, Noah Lehman. And in 1st position, Logan Hill. Congratulations. Next up is our 12 girls category, sponsored by Turbo BMX. In 4th position, Lillian Tonks. Congratulations. 3rd position, Samantha Carroll. Taking out the 2 spot, Harley Rockcliffe. And your winner of the 12 girls is Nyla Williams. Congratulations to our 12 girls. Congratulations to our 12 girls, sponsored by Turbo BMX. Next up, our 12 boys, sponsored by AAP Interior Linings. So I'm just going to do 2 and 1. So in second position, Nixon Hall. And in first position, Baxter Man Shandon. So our 12 boys, sponsored by AAP Interior Linings. Yes. Next up, the 13 girls, sponsored by Mannion Contracting. In fifth position, Emily Linnett. And taking out your 4 spot, Chelsea Tuck. And in third, Ali Mannion. Taking out the 2 spot, Emily Paget. And your winner of the 13 girls, sponsored by Mannion Contracting, is Lily Farrell today. Congratulations to our 13 girls. Next up, our 13 boys, sponsored by JJ's Bakehouse. In fourth position, Nate Medcraft. In third position, Hugo Savage. In your 2 spot, Jack Butterworth. And taking out the 1 spot today, Jack Lupton. So this is your 13 boys, sponsored by JJ's Bakehouse. Yep. Next up, our 14 boys, sponsored by RMW Repairs. In the 3rd spot, Sean Dawson. Taking out 2nd place, Cruz Williams. And our winner of the 14 boys, Ryland Blythe. Congratulations, lads. Entertaining race to watch. It's a great competition. Congratulations to our 14 boys, sponsored by RMW Repairs. Next up is their 15s, sponsored by Mannion Contracting. In 3rd position, Casey Kirkland. In 2nd position, Stella Mannion. And in your 1 spot, Talia Brimhole. Next up is our 25 to 29 men, sponsored by Michelle O'Byrne. In 3rd position, Leo Lorenz. In 2nd position, Michael Tuck. Taking out the 1 spot, Bailey Stewart. So Michael Tuck, number 2. Bailey, number 1. Yep. So that's your 25 to 29 men, sponsored by Michelle O'Byrne. Congratulations, gentlemen. Next up, our cruiser 35 to 39 men, sponsored by Elite Painting. In 3rd position, Claire Tonks. Congratulations, Claire. In 2nd position, Leo Lorenz. Doing the double duties tonight. And our number 1 rider in the 35 to 39 men, Ben Oxley. Mr. Oxley, We might be missing Mr. Oxley. We'll hold on to that one. Thanks, guys. Should be.
Oh my god.
Right at the start. Okay, our Masters 30 plus men's in 5th position, Ben Oxley is not here. In 4th position, Matty Burgess. In 3rd position, Ben Anderson. In 2nd position, Matthew French. And taking out the 1 spot, Reese Ellis. So that was family. That was a 30 plus male. Junior Superclass women next. Matt Shannon, can I get you over here, please? Yes, I just need you to present something, please. Okay, so this is our Junior Superclass women, sponsored by RMW Repair, sorry. So Junior Superclass women, 2nd spot, Stella Mannion. And our 1st position for our Junior Superclass women, Talia Brimhole. Congratulations. Thanks, Casey. This one again sponsored by RMW Repairs. This is our Junior Superclass women. Congratulations. Next up, a hotly contested category, Junior Superclass men. Second place in this one came down, they were equal on points and came down to the time and placing in the final moto. In 7th position for our Junior Superclass men, sponsored by Sprung, is Cruz Williams. Sixth position, Ryland Blythe. And your 5 spot, Dylan Phillips. 4th place, Darcy Townsend. Taking out the 3 spot, Oliver Beams. In 2nd place, Byron Rush. And in 1st place, for your Junior Superclass men, Jacob French. And I just want to point out that 2nd place came down to 0.2 of a second. So super tight, super entertaining racing from our Junior Superclass men today. Great effort, fellas. You just have to give them the things. And next up, Superclass Women, sponsored by RMW Repairs. In third spot, Claire Farrell. Congratulations, Claire. You rode very well today. Look forward to seeing you on the 20-inch in future. In the second spot, Izzy Beams. Congratulations. And our one spot for our Junior Superclass Women, Ashley Gunn. Congratulations. This one was sponsored by Sprung. I say this one's sponsored by RMW Repair, sorry. Next up was sponsored by Sprung, our Superclass men. Yes, 10 first. So 10, there should be a spare participation trophy for 10th position.
Oh yeah, the spare participation.
What about 9?
So 9th and 10 get a participation place? Yep. Okay, so men's Superclass in 10th place, Bailey Stewart. In ninth position, Sean Morris. In 8th position, Justin Oxley. In 7th position, Andrew Hughes. So, 7th position is Andrew Hughes. 6th position, one of our Zeth Griffiths. So Justin Oxley was 8th position. Congratulations. In 5th position, Hudson McLeod. In 4th spot, Billy Schmidt. Taking out the 3 spot for the men's Superclass, Oliver Moran. In 2nd position, Hayden Fletcher. And our winner of the men's Superclass for the Tassie Thunder 2024, Josh Jolly. Congratulations to all our men's Superclass riders and all our riders that have travelled long distances to be here today.
Right, now kids, if you haven't had an ice cream, come and get one.
So this is our men's Superclass sponsored by Sprung. Congratulations. And any children that haven't had an ice cream, there's a free ice creams from the ice cream van, donated by the club. Just for kids, not the young at heart, just the actual young ones. Thanks for coming, everyone. Drive safe. We'll see you at next year's Tassie 2025 Tassie Thunder.